Well, hi there and welcome to Focus on Frisco on this beautiful, seems like spring day, but we're still in the midst of winter. So welcome and thanks for joining us on this midwinter show. We've got a great show for you here on Focus on Frisco. I'm Shannon Fallon, and of course I have Randy Reedy, the new town manager here, joining us. So with a great introduction, very excited to talk to him. And then I think poor Fred, if you remember from Fred this time last year, is going to be joining us well. So stick around, we're happy to have you. Welcome back. You are watching Focus on Frisco. I'm Shannon Fallon, and as promised, I wouldn't lie to you, it's Randy Reedy. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. We appreciate your time as you're in your the end of your fifth week.
It is 25 days already.
Who's counting, right?
Exactly.
So it's great to have you. Now, I'm just going to kind of ask a little bit of background. I think people are happy to see your bright new face. We've been hearing about you. So let's talk a little bit about where you came from and why. So most recently you were in?
I just moved here from Aspen.
Great.
My wife and I moved there 24 years ago, so we were 24 years in Aspen.
Wow.
We're privileged to raise our two boys there. And as we're looking around for other opportunities now that they're out of school and into college.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Yeah, new era, if you will.
Right.
But knew a couple things. One, we wanted to stay in a mountain community. The mountain communities tend to grow on people, and certainly a passion for being in the mountains, being in Colorado. That is very much a part of why we're here.
Right.
And then the challenges and the issues and the opportunities in Frisco at a really critical juncture with housing and town character and approaching build out, working well with our neighboring jurisdictions in the county, and moving forward on the environmental front, housing front, and making sure there's a strong, vibrant economy to maintain families in the community are things that are very important to me, and one of the big reasons I'm here.
Right, and that's exciting to hear. You know, as you mentioned, it really is one of those things where we always, for those of us who have lived here a long time, it always feels like Frisco is always moving forward and growing, which is a great thing.
Right.
But then you get to these times where you're exactly right. We're talking about environmental issues, we're talking about housing issues, and housing issues are everywhere. I'm sure you had them in Aspen.
Absolutely.
And it's one of those things where it's just come to that point where there's so much going on in the growth, and do we grow this much and things like that. So it's great to have. So when you saw those challenges, and I'm sure that you recognized them obviously as you were coming in to start to talk to the town, what was exciting about that? What drew you? Because somebody could look at it and go, I'm out. But with your background, what drew you to it?
Well, as I mentioned, I think these are similar issues that every growing, successful mountain town or town, city across the West right now are going through. And so they're familiar issues. The approaches need to be tailored carefully to each locale that match the values, the resources available, but just the ability to work with the community, understand the needs, and to move forward in meeting some of those housing challenges, some of the challenges that the businesses face in attracting and retaining good qualified workers are things that I'm very much excited about, and seeing what the town can do to help in that regard.
Absolutely. And you know, one of the things that has been on the table and in the council recently was that housing development that they're kind of starting to talk about as you approach the dam road. Mm-hmm. And as the town starts to talk about it, you know, I know part of the discussion is a little bit about how much the town wants to contribute to it and how and why. And from your experience, what's the benefit of a town really putting money into something like that? Mm-hmm. And we're talking about housing and affordable housing and things like that, where we can attract those families that stay and spend. What is it about that a town, you think a town should be a part of, or do you not?
Oh, absolutely. I think there's a strong role for all of the sectors, the nonprofits, the private sector, the public sector, to work together in partnership to face these big issues. And housing's not alone. Childcare may be another one. The cost and availability of health care, all of those sorts of things. We're all in this together. And there's no one solution. There's no one actor that's going to wave a magic wand and solve it. So, but with businesses being willing to step up to the plate with ideas and energy and willingness to help contribute to solving the problem, as well as the public sector. The county residents have been very generous with their vote in November to approve the new 5A housing funds, and that will go a long way toward helping to meet that need over the next many years. And so it's important, I think, for A couple main reasons. One, of course, is the vitality of what it's like to live and work here, ability of businesses to not only attract workers, because the attraction piece sort of speaks for itself.
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of people that want to live and work here, but can they make it work? Can they find a place that's affordable to live and that's flexible as their lifestyle changes and their family grows or whatever, to be able to move into an expandable unit or to go from a studio unit to a 2-bedroom. Those are the kind of opportunities that keep people here.
Yeah.
So that's the vitality reason. The other part of it is what it's like to actually be in town. What is the character? What does it feel like to walk around, not only in February or July, but in April and November? Those shoulder seasons. Is there a community here? Is there a viable, are there enough people to serve on boards and commissions and as volunteers? And what's it like to go to the schools, et cetera? So
Yeah.
it kind of keeps the community going on all levels.
Absolutely. You know, it was interesting as we looked at this year's election, it was incredible how many people were in the running. I mean, it was one of these years where it was amazing to see the numbers and so exciting, because it really kind of envelops what you have been talking about, is that getting those people in town that want to be part of it, that want to help make change, that want to help it be a growing, exciting, feeling good place.
Right.
And so it was really neat to see that many people wanting to be that involved.
It is good.
Yeah, and then the other thing that you mentioned was the housing. You know, you get these families or these young kids who come in, and then maybe they do eventually get families. And how much do we want to keep them here? Very much so.
Absolutely.
You know, where we can see them raise their families, and the schools continue to grow. And it's fun to see at the Frisco Elementary how people come to that park that are visiting and say, "This is so great! What a fun park to have here," and things like that. So it really is. It is an exciting time. And I suppose as you start to move into these things, it's really, you know, you can start to use it. Have you had to, you're always going to use your resources, I get that, but from your experience in Aspen, have you been able to take little pieces, or is this a different enough town that, you know, you go, well, this is completely different than what we did in Aspen, and here's how you're moving?
It's sort of neither extreme. You know, I didn't come prepared with a manual of how to solve all of Summit County's or Frisco's problems. I wouldn't pretend to, because there are different solutions that will work in different environments. At the same time, there's a certain familiarity, a certain awareness of what it takes to be successful in this environment as a thriving mountain town. The kind of understanding the resort economics and what it works, how ski towns work that are all around us, et cetera, I think helps prepare me for this. The vocabulary is there, but the approaches and toolkit are going to be very different depending on the situation.
You bet. And just out of curiosity, before you moved to Aspen, where were you?
I was originally from southern Colorado, Canyon City, on the other end of Highway 9. Born and raised there, and then spent a number of years in the Denver area.
Wow.
Working for both the state and the city of Denver.
Fantastic. Oh, that's interesting to know. Yeah, so lots of experience. Did you ski a lot when you were a kid?
I grew up skiing Breckenridge and going over Hoosier Pass, or
Love it.
Highway 9, and so, yeah, familiar with Summit County, certainly passed through on any number of occasions, but it's actually great to be here and be living here and to become part of the community and getting to know more and more people. I'm really enjoying it.
Well, we're happy to have you here.
It's great to be here.
Very exciting, yes. I would love it if maybe we could touch base in a couple of months after you know, as we start to head into the maybe summer months before the barbecue. Well, have you ever been to barbecue?
I have been here during barbecue, but it's a very different time. Yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. It's so much fun, and it's crazy how many people can get packed into the one little street.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It all
well,
works.
welcome. As I said, I want to touch base with you. I would like to keep a regular conversation because I think it's going to be a lot of fun as we see this excitement, you know, on so many issues and so many levels, continue to move everything forward.
Look forward to it.
All right, Randy. Thanks for your time today. I appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much. We're going to stick around here for just a few minutes. When we come back, Fred the dog's going to be joining us because I do believe we're getting close to Marty Paws time. Stay with us.